Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and their twin flame connection. Twins, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Twins, I hope that you're doing well. If you are here as a cross watcher, welcome. If you are here and you're unsure of what a twin flame connection is, I have included the link to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length explanation of the twin flame journey. And she does a very outstanding, comprehensive job explaining it. And in a nutshell, twin flames are two people who share the same energetic soul. They share the same oversoul. So they're two individuals. They have their own personalities and their own lives, but they are divinely connected. And it's different from a soulmate. Your twin is essentially, people don't like to say it's like the other half of you because you are whole unto yourself, but they do, it's that you emanated from the same kind of burst of light or burst of energy, to put it in the visual term. If you are fortunate enough, and some people might say unfortunate enough, but if you are fortunate enough to meet your twin in this lifetime, the bond between you is indescribable. It's intense, it's intimate, it's like nothing you've ever experienced. And there can be an intense period of bonding or intimacy or love and friendship, and then pressure starts to build and it actually separates the twins. There's a runner-chaser dynamic between these two people. One person runs, one person chases, and it causes the twins to have to figure out a way to be whole on their own, to not be in a state of codependency with their twin, to not cleave to one another, to not be in a sense needy with one another. Often the twins go through a hermiting period where they go through a dark night of the soul, reach a Kundalini awakening, spiritual ascension, discover their spiritual gifts, and share those gifts with others. That's kind of the bag of a twin flame journey. It's not so much about your twin, it's more about you and what you're here in this lifetime to do. And you're witnessing right now what I discovered on my journey. I am speaking it to twins in separation. I was a twin in separation. I am no longer. My twin and I have reunited after 5 years, and it's been wonderful, and it's still a learning process, but I do these readings to help twins navigate this journey. I know how difficult it can be. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The first one is the What We've Forgotten Oracle deck for the base spread, and for the tarot portion of your reading, the Unveiled Tarot. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and their twin flame connection. The first set of cards is going to be your energy. The second set will be your twins. The third set will be the connection. And the fourth set will be advice from Spirit. Please feel free to flip the energy between you and your twin if you feel that is appropriate, as twins often mirror one another. They find synchronicity between their lives, and it's hard to explain, but that's the mirroring effect of the twin flame journey. One extra card came out. I'm going to use that as the overall energy. Now pulling the tarot. One more. One more, please. Thank you. Okay, the extra card that came out for your overall energy is a number 41, reducing to a 5, the Hierophant card of the major arcana. The water signs also got a Hierophant card as well. This card says Oracle. So the Hierophant corresponds to Taurus energy, and it talks about this connection, this earthly connection to the divine. The Hierophant is like the Pope of the Tarot and acts as a conduit, a go-between between this world and the spirit world. It doesn't have to be a religious figure. It can be a spiritual teacher, a guru, sometimes a life coach, somebody outside of you that seems to have this innate wisdom about the world. The Oracle in this card serves a similar purpose. The Oracle can kind of see into the future, but it's not just about like seeing what's going to happen. There's also this kind of shamanism, this wisdom, this connection that they have, not just to events of the future, but also what's happening right now. It's like a spiritual psychologist in a way, like understanding the factors at play and being able to, you know, an oracle is somebody outside of you that can look at a situation and just kind of assess it in a more clear way, and they're able to communicate that to you with the help of spirit. So as an overall energy for your twin flame connection, one or both of you could be serving that purpose for the people in your community, in your soul tribe. I certainly act as that figure for my soul tribe in my community. I'm not in this place where I'm going to deny that anymore, because I just used to be like, oh, you know, like, yeah, some people come to me sometimes for advice. It's like, no, they come to me for advice because they understand that I commune with myself and with spirit in a way that is purposeful, meaningful, diligent, practiced, and people come to me to seek advice in that way. Now, talking to my twin, he also serves that purpose for the people in his life in a different way, but people recognize that he can assess a situation and break it down all the way down to its constituent elements and be able to analyze and then be able to explain that to people. I look at emotions, he looks at systems, and I feel as though you and your twin are kind of occupying this kind of function within your communities. People may come to you for guidance. What kind of guidance you provide, I'm not sure. Maybe that will come out. But the fact is that you are looked at as either a figurehead or a wise one, a leader. For your energy, and remember, you feel free to switch it with your twins if it feels appropriate, but for your energy, got number 45, which corresponds to number 9, the Hermit card of the major arcana, Virgo energy. When we're in the Hermit energy, we kind of retreat unto ourselves. We take time out, away from society, away from others. Maybe you've been oracling it too hard, and you're just like, I need to take some time for me. Keys of creation. I need to take some time for me so that I can not only recoup my energy, Spirit just said, but also be in a space of quiet contemplation and open up new channels of understanding. So like, you know, I learned the tarot, and I have so many tarot teachers on YouTube, which I'm so grateful for them. I wish I could just, I've thanked them all in the comments. I subscribe to their pages. But I wish I could just shake everybody's hand and just say, you have no idea how much you've taught me. But that doesn't mean that I stop there. I'm continually learning about the tarot. I'm continually learning about myself. I'm continually reading so that Spirit has even more of a Rolodex, more of a source material. Spirit just says source material from which I can channel from, right? Like Spirit can use what it's already in my consciousness, even if it was in my consciousness for a very short period of time. So I continue to have to educate myself on the world around me in order to give voice to Spirit. And I think that's kind of what you're doing right now. You're unlocking something new, right? In order to create, in order to draw resource or inspiration from. It's very exciting. And you're doing it actively. And you're aware of the fact that you're doing it. You're purposefully doing it. You're like, I want to, it's like traveling. I want to broaden my horizons. Yes, I can learn things. I can learn about Egypt from a book. I can read a million books about Egypt. But unless I go to Egypt, it won't hit the same way. It won't feel as well-rounded. I won't get that 360 view unless I'm in that spot. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that could be a thought that you've had, that I want to travel more so that I can learn more about the world that I live in. That's just an example. Or conversely, I want to read more. I want to expose myself to more ideas, more theories, more thoughts, more poetry, more mathematics, more sociology, whatever it is. So that I can broaden my horizons, so that I can articulate things a little bit better. And it's so beautifully clarified by number 4, the Emperor. This is Aries energy. Aries, you showed up in your own reading. Heavy fire sign energy here. The power of all 4 kings of the tarot. The ultimate divine masculine. And in this unveiled tarot deck, there's always this kind of window of exploration within each of the cards. We can see here where a person started. I interpret it as humble beginnings. And then we zoom out to see, like now he has a statue of himself. That I was gonna say we made something of ourselves, but it's not quite like that. It's not with hubris. It's not with, there's some humility here. I mean, yes, it's a statue, but it's more, yes, you have a sense of pride in your accomplishments, but you don't necessarily have a statue erected in your honor. It's more of a, like an energetic statue, an energetic presence about you that may feel larger than life. You may have had people tell you that you are somewhat unapproachable or intimidating. I really got that. That could have really caught you off guard, because you don't feel intimidating. I mean, unless you're purposefully trying to be intimidating, but I feel as though some of you have gotten that. I've gotten that. I'm a water sign, but I've certainly gotten that feedback by my own team at work. It's like, oh, people are scared of you. I'm like, why? I'm like a goofy person. I don't understand. But when it gets right down to it, I can be very forceful and direct. I'm very direct, so that intimidates people. So I feel as though fire signs, you've gotten this feedback. Now, what you do with that feedback, maybe you don't care, but I feel as though it's important to say, because I don't think that you want to isolate yourself out. I think that you want to be approachable, right? Especially if you're trying to really kind of sit within the oracle energy. People have to be able to trust you and approach you to be able to harness and listen to the wisdom that you have to offer, because you have a lot to offer. So I'm going to get a clarifier for this Emperor card and the keys of creation, please, for the fire signs. One card, please, just one. One card. Thank you. Interesting. Number 15. The Devil. That's very interesting. Yeah, you know, oh, this is interesting. See how kind of his arm is a continuation of this hill or this mountain? Yeah, you know, I brought up the intimidation factor. I don't see the devil as like a bad thing for you. In fact, I actually see it as like workaholism. That's coming through very strongly. Like maybe, you know, you're the rainmaker of your family. You have to make sure that all the bills are paid, and you have a lot of responsibility, as the Emperor always does. And you're in charge of a lot, right? You could be the head of household or something like that. But it could get lost in the sauce. Spirit just said lost in the sauce. Sometimes we can work a little too much. Sometimes we can, you know, it's not that Spirit doesn't want you to go after your dreams, because obviously they do. But we have to be, because Spirit is showing me like Buddhist teachings, like the middle path, the middle way. Treat everything by not going to extremes, like traveling the middle path where we aren't exaggerating in one direction or the other, because there's some tendency here on your part to do that, and you could get caught up in it sometimes. You could get caught up in your work or your pursuits to the point where, you know, and I'm not trying to criticize it. This is the message that's coming out, especially with this card. Maybe your family is the thing that gets lost in the sauce. Maybe it's not that you're neglecting your family, but you wish you had more time. And perhaps part of this understanding that will come to you is how you can create more time for your family, for your friends, for your soul tribe. You can still be the Emperor. You can still absolutely be the Emperor, but, you know, maybe it requires just hiring people, delegating more, you know, to a certain extent, maybe not being the oracle for people all the time. Because I know that when people kind of come to me for advice, it happens a lot at work. What does that do? It distracts me from the job that I have to get done. Then what do I have to do? I have to work longer hours to be able to make up for lost time, right? And part of my job is leadership, and part of my job is mentorship. That comes with the territory. But at what cost? At what cost? And I think that's what you're assessing right now. I'm just seeing somebody that just needs more sleep, or whose health could be better. You know, maybe you have some chronic conditions where you're just kind of fighting a cold all the time, and you need to just rest a little bit more. But you know yourself, right? But the card, there's a lot of ways that Spirit can communicate messages through these cards, but this is a very specific card to show up. It shows me it's a problem, not for me, but for you, and you know it, right? So, you know, this is perhaps part of the spiritual awakening that you're going through, right? Or that you've been going through, Spirit just said. Maybe this is part of your karmic lessons. Like, how do I take time out for me? How do I make time for the things that are important for me, my health, my well-being? For your twins energy, they got number 8, corresponding to the strength card, Leo energy. Leo, you showed up in your own reading. the cardinal directions. Cardinal directions, north, south, east, west. Cardinal signs, Cancer, Aries, Libra, and Cancer, Air. What is the other one? Capricorn? Is Capricorn a cardinal sign? Sorry, I don't remember. Cancer, Aries, Libra. I want to say Capricorn. I feel like that's not right. Spirit's not giving it to me, so I'm going to stop embarrassing myself. Okay. The cardinal directions, though, north, south, east, west. Your twin is trying to get their bearings, and they could be, I mean, I feel like your twin could be an air sign, because this just feels like a lot of thinking, a lot of thoughts, a lot to navigate. Just too much. There's too much happening. Too many corridors, too many secret passageways. Where is the exit? And maybe that's what they're asking themselves, because this is the feeling. I feel overwhelmed by this. It's cool to look at. I feel completely overwhelmed by it. Where is the exit? You know, your twin could be, it is most clarified by the Eight of Cups in reverse. In the upright, the Eight of Cups talks about the exit. Walking away from 8 full cups. But they got the card in reverse, so this completely confirms it. And I know this could be hard to hear, but you know, maybe sometimes your twin is asking, like, where is the exit to this twin flame connection? The joyride was fun while it lasted, and now I just want to get off of this hamster wheel. I'm sure you've also felt it, twins. I have absolutely felt it more times than I can even tell you. It has nothing to do with the love that I have for my twin, but the twin flame journey sometimes really sucks. So bad. It's so harrowing and devastating sometimes, and you feel crazy, and it's awful until it's not. Until you start to level up. You start to unlock your gifts. You start to heal from things that no longer serve you, right? I feel as though you are in a different place than your twin. They're looking for the eject button. But it's almost like, okay, you look for the eject button, but then where are you going to go? Do you have any idea? And that's, guys, like, I almost see you, like, if you're in separation from your twin, but you're still in contact with them, you know, maybe you're just like, do you have any idea of, like, what it is that you want out of life? Because maybe you separated from your twin because they have no idea. They're aimless, right? You can't figure it out for them, but maybe you've asked them that question, like, hi, twin, have you figured anything else out for your life yet? I feel like it bothers them, though. I feel like some of you are in contact with your twin, because I feel like you're separated from, like, you're not with them, but like I feel like every once in a while maybe they pop up. I feel like you trigger that in them. Like, when are you gonna get your act together? I feel like that really triggers them, because I'm feeling really triggered by that. Like, you know, almost them saying, who are you to tell me what to do, right? But that's part of the twin flame journey. You trigger one another. Cardinal directions and the Eight of Cups in reverse for their twin, please. Page of Cups. Well, they might have gotten pissed at you, but then they want to say sorry. Now I hear Justin Bieber's, is it too late now to say sorry? It's authentic, and yet the Page of Cups always has this slippery fish that they're dealing with. It's a slippery fish. Can't really grab hold of it. Don't really know what to make of it. Because I almost see you saying, what are you feeling sorry about? Like, I don't need your apology. I need you to figure I need you to figure your stuff out. Insert curse word, you know? I need you to figure it out, twin. Like, you can apologize to me, great, and I feel you're very unrelenting, fire signs, like, woo, but whatever, maybe they deserve it. Just remember, like, sometimes that comes back, right? Because we mirror our twins, so if you dish it out, you got to be able to take it, because at some point, the universe is going to show you their side of the story, but it's going to be you in the driver's seat, and you're going to be like, okay, right? So I'll give you an example of this. So I've known my twin for roughly 9 years, and I have not physically been in his presence. Like, we talk now, of course, but like, I have not physically been in his presence in about 7 years, so it's been a long time. But when I was with him, when I was dating him, I was tremendously codependent, like unhealthily, devil times 1,000 codependent. Just insecure. I just wanted and needed his attention like all the time, and it was suffocating. And so he stepped away, and I chased for the longest time until I stopped, because when we would go back and forth, and then I stopped chasing. And part of my awakening happened, well, there were several parts. I met somebody who was a really lovely person, but I met somebody who treated me the same way that I treated my twin. Like, put me on a pedestal, which was very uncomfortable, and like overgave, overextended, to the point where I had to tell this person, I need you to stop. It's too much. It's too much. And it dawned on me one day, like, this is exactly how I treated my twin. I hate how this feels. Because I don't like the idea of like being above somebody. I don't like the idea, like, I like the idea of being respected. Who doesn't? But I don't like the idea of being on somebody's pedestal. Because why? You can't live up to that. You cannot live up to somebody's pedestal image of you. And that's exactly what I did to my twin. And Spirit showed that to me. And I was like, whoa, this is awful. Right? So that's just an example. But Spirit is giving that to me. And it's kind of embarrassing. Right? But I mean, I should hope that in 7 years, people can change and evolve and mature. That's what's happening right now. Like, but I want to point that out to you, that you could be really triggering your twin, like, to get their act together. Bring it back to the self. Be the person that you want to attract to you. And if that's your twin, that's great. But embody that for yourself. In the area of the connection, number 38, which reduces to an 11, and the Justice card, right? Karmic balance, Libra energy, the Sun. This is beautiful. This feels very auspicious. I think both of you are going to have an epiphany, a breakthrough moment separately. It's like an ace. It's like an ace of sun. The Spirit handing you this beautiful epiphany. And I feel like you're going to both run with it. The epiphany will be different for both of you. But you're going to run with it. You're going to embrace this newfound knowledge, this clarity. And I think it's going to bring you a certain level of abundance. Whether financial, creative, new soul tribe members, community, family, just something really spectacular. I'm looking at the lines on this hand here. Some of you could be into palmistry. or you could be learning palmistry. That's for somebody. It's clarified by the Nine of Wands, the card of tenaciousness, the card of being tired but not giving up. I feel like both of you still want to take this journey. It's been difficult. You're exhausted from it, but you're not throwing in the towel. You're not giving up on it. I think you're putting up some strong boundaries, as I see here. You're putting up some strong boundaries. Ultimately, you love your twin. You care about them. You want the best for them. You're not giving up on the journey. Some people do. Some people are like, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. And then they're with a soulmate. Or they're happy by themselves. Yeah, Knight of Wands. That's interesting. Really taking the bull by the horns. Knight of Wands is very spontaneous, right? It's the Wands energy, so it's your energy. Being spontaneous, a go-getter, excitable, really passionate about life. Not the most stable person, but somebody, you know, here for a good time, not a long time. Some of you could be sowing some oats. You know, you could be going with, could be seeking out intimacy or connection elsewhere in the meantime. Right? That's your prerogative. So you're having fun. Your twin could also be having fun too in that arena. Or it doesn't have to be about another person. Maybe it's like they're starting something new and they're really, or you're really enthusiastic about it. That's the Knight of Wands energy. For the advice from Spirit, number 43, which corresponds to the 7, the Chariot card, Cancer energy of the Major Arcana, Divine Law. Divine Law. I'm seeing this like bird over her shoulder, and this card reminds me of the 9 of Pentacles. I don't know if you can tell here, but in both of her hands, she has the scales. So, you know, the number 11 referenced the Justice card, and here it is with the scales here, weighing our options. But Spirit is saying all in divine law, all in divine timing. They are, I don't want to say it like this, but this is how Spirit's giving it to me. It's like they're keeping the score for you. I know why. They're keeping the score for you. You don't have to keep the score. I feel like some of you might be. I felt a little bit of competitive energy before between you and your twin, especially when you were like, why aren't you getting your act together? What is it that you want to do? Why can't you figure your stuff out? Why are you still in this stuck place, right? Feels a little judgmental, especially, you know, when you're speaking from this place of empowerment, right? But you got your, you have your own stuff to deal with. You're the one that got this card, twins, right? So let Spirit, it's like give it up to Spirit. Let Spirit keep the tally. Focus on your abundance, your stability, your creativity, your gifts. Most importantly, your gifts. It's clarified by the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. 10 of Pentacles is absolute abundance. It's the top of the Pentacles, top of the earth element, where finances, family, community, all fall into place. Stability, good health. It all falls into place with the 10 of Pentacles. And Spirit is showing it to me in reverse. Work on these things for yourself. Allow Spirit to keep the score for you. And don't even think about it as being a score. Just work on yourself, right? Work on Whatever this devil energy is, you know what it is. It's not workaholism, it's something else. That's not good for you. So the biggest advice here is focus on this and eliminating this from your life, this devil energy. That's your reading, fire signs. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.